Hi, in this video we are going to discuss different number system. We classify the numbers into complex and real numbers. Real or rational, irrational, rational or integer, fractional number, and integer or whole and negative numbers. Whole are the sum of the natural and zero number. Natural numbers are prime, composite, even, and odd numbers. Numbers are the basic mathematic components which are used for counting, measuring, and labeling to keep the things in order. Complex numbers are the sum of real and imaginary numbers. For example, 2 plus 3 imaginary units. This is the example of complex number. Here the imaginary numbers are the square root of negative number or the multiple of imaginary units. These are not on the number lines. For example, we say that the multiple of imaginary units 2 and 3 are the imaginary numbers. While on the other hand, the real numbers are those numbers which are on the number lines as represented. For example, 0, 1, -1, fractional number, and decimal numbers are the example of real number. A real number can be rational numbers. Rational numbers are those numbers which we can write in the form of P by Q, where Q is not equal to 0. Or these are decimal that ends. For example, 0.5. And we can also say that rational numbers are terminating fractions. And these can be recurring fractions which are non-terminating. For example, we say that 17 number we can write in the form of P by Q, and this is terminating. 10 by 5. This is also terminating fraction, so this is also rational number. 6 by 15. This is also terminating fraction, so this is also rational number. While on the other hand, 1 by 3. This is a fraction which is non-terminating. But this is a recurring fraction, so we can say that this is also a rational number. Here the number 3 is recurring, and the square roots, like the square root of 4, this is also a rational number, as we can write in the form of P by Q. Those numbers which are not rationals or irrational, and these number we cannot write in the form of P by Q, and these are the decimals that never ends. And we can also say that irrational are non-recurring and non-terminating fractions. For example, the square root of 2. This is non-terminating as well as non-recurring number. So this is irrational number. Pi is the another irrational number. Here, this is the non-recurring and non-terminating. We consider the value of pi as 22/7. This is rational number. This is not the exact value of pi but very close to the value of pi. Integers, which are represented by z. These are the numbers which are including 0, -1 to onward, and +1 to onward. These are all the integers. Here we use the sign minus and plus. And the fractional numbers are those numbers which we can write in the form of P by Q. These fractions can be proper or improper. Proper fractions are those where the numerator is greater and improper fractions are those where the numerator is less than denominator. Whole number which are represented by W. These are the numbers which are including 0 and +1 to onwards. Natural numbers which are represented by N. These are the numbers which are including +1 to onwards. These are the numbers which we use in daily life or naturally. For example, we say that there are 50 students in the class or 5 teachers in the school, etc. These are the example of natural numbers. Natural numbers can be prime, composite, even and odd. Prime numbers. These are those numbers which having two factors, 1 and itself. For example, 2. This is prime number because this is divisible by 1 and 2. So this has two factor, 3 and 5, etc. These are the example of prime number. While on the other hand, composite are those natural numbers which have at least 3 factors. For example, 4, 6, 8, etc. These are the example of composite number, as 4 is divisible by 1, 2 and 4. So this has 3 factor. So this is composite number. Even numbers, these are those natural number which are divisible by 2. For example, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, etc. These are the even number, as 10 is divisible by 2. All the even number are divisible by 2. While on the other hand, odd number are those natural numbers which are not divisible by 2. For example, 3, 5, 7, etc. These are the example of odd number. Thanks for watching and please comment if you have any question.